Hi, I'm Madonna Guy,
I'm David Shield.
and we're running a workshop on the 11th of August. I wanted to ask specifically about why it's good for practitioners of all types to learn this process. And the reason I say that is because I believe this is about, it adds to people's hope, it adds to people's self awareness. And I had two very specific examples of practitioners who didn't treat people in the most awesome way in the last few days that my clients have told me about. One of them was a lady who had a particular type of the big C discovered last year, and her doctor, as he was making a note in the computer, said, "Well, I'll just make a note here in case you're still here in 5 years."
Mm-hmm.
So to me, he wasn't consciously thinking that. I don't think he was being self-aware when he actually said those words to another human being. Just saying. I might be wrong. So why do you think this is great for practitioners to learn this process for them or their clients?
Well, the advantage to a practitioner is that even though it's a self-assessment, so we work out each role and we number them according to where we are and where we want to be. That's called congruence in Carl Rogers' theory. And that's dividing up into the individual parts. And so even though that's self-assessed, over time, all those numbers change because we get better at some things, we might let some things go. So in a first case, at least for um, it, it shows you the progress of a client in all areas of their life if you are going to use it as a feedback tool. And I think that's quite extraordinary because it also takes into account the social areas of their life, the work and study and money, financial, and the home, and also the spiritual and values part. It takes all those people have roles in all those parts, and so as a feedback tool, it's this incredible thing. So, like, just say somebody has a bad disease, like that might make their other roles change too because they have to change the way their lifestyle. So it can show a feedback of how people's holistic roles in all of their parts of their life change over time.
Mm.
But another thing why it's good for practitioners is because it gives, like for example, a lot of counselling. There's this counselling set of theories called common factors, and the most common factor is the client themselves. So it's the self. But what this does is that in a very quick amount of time, by clients just writing down their roles and then numbering them, any trained therapist can look at that and go, oh, right, right? And there's no shorter way. It's the shortest possible way. Nobody has to write a sentence. All your roles are just, a few words describing them with two numbers. So it's like the easiest possible way of getting complex data because most ways they'll use surveys, tick A, B, C, and this and that. Except this case, people are putting their individual
Yeah.
roles and they show how different people are from each other
Yes.
who are even really close because people's variety of roles are very different from each other. And so the other thing it does is that as a pre-treatment plan,
Yes.
it sets out, it shows, so your client comes in with a problem, right, which will be affecting other roles, and it'll be like a person with, say, a disease like cancer. They're getting treatment from the doctor, but they need a lot of other allied help as well. Because,
Yeah.
for example, that might mean they can't work as much, right? So they might need to have to reprioritize their roles altogether. So this can show the position of a client in the present, a snapshot of all of the issues they have, all of the positive factors they have in their life, how their relationships are going, so you can build those strengths up while they're going through the healing, and they can do it very physically because also social, vocational, um, home, and spiritual, we also have the individual part, so we can look at it through the physical lens, which is body, mind, heart, soul, which is body, digestive, mind, brain, nervous system, heart, cardiovascular system, and soul, reproductive system, which are the main systems. And then we can because it's not, because that's also on the individual level. It's sensation, thinking, feeling, and intuition, right? So on the individual, you've got those three things that you can look at options of roles. Like if you're treating someone, you might look how these systems relate to each other, how people's feelings and thoughts. It just creates a comprehensive map. And Jung said the reason to develop a topology isn't to make a new thing. It's actually to get data, empirical data, observable data. And people have all of that. And this just shows a place where you can put all the data about
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. And because the person is
And you get an
choosing,
extraordinary, it's an extraordinary individual presentation of somebody.
yes, and because the person themselves is saying where they are with a particular role and where they want to be, like they might say, I am a health conscious human being, and they come into you with, a big disease, but they might be a 2 out of 10 and wanting to look after their health. They might want to be a 3 out of 10. They might not want to be a 10 out of 10. So there's no point putting that energy and effort in with something that they're just not interested in.
No, it's according to what you want to be, and some things, health, you might want to be a hobby at 3.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't even have to look at it like a deficit that I'm bad at it. It's just because it's based on levels of interest.
Yeah, exactly.
People have got a right to choose their own way of doing things.
And their own destiny. Absolutely. Thanks, David.
Thank you.